oocytes, the female gamete egg. Before we go on to discuss ovarian cancer, let us try to answer one simple question. Does ovary have tissue-specific adult stem cells? What are adult stem cells? Many of the healthy organs in human body harbor within themselves a rare and quiet population of cells having the self-renewing capability, which is essential for the day-to-day normal maintenance of the organ and replenishment of the organ in times of damage or injury. This population of cells are called adult stem cells. So how does adult stem cells play a role in cancer? The research conducted over the last 10 to 15 years has shown that when the organs they who harbor adult stem cells turn cancerous, the tumor cells harbor within themselves cancer stem cells, which are the sole agents responsible for tumor initiation and progress. What is the connection between cancer stem cells and adult stem cells? The cancer stem cells share many common features with adult stem cells, and hence they have been isolated, identified, and characterized for many cancers, including ovarian cancer. Cancer stem cells in various types of ovarian cancers have been identified with markers CD24, CD34, CD44, CD105, CD117, EpCAM, ROR1, ALDH, SOX2, OCT4, etc. Adult stem cells in ovary. Because cancer stem cells have been isolated, identified, and characterized in ovarian cancer, it can be concluded that there must be adult stem cells in ovary. But a paper so latest as published in 2020 by Wagner et al. Concludes that there are no adult stem cells in ovary. So how do you explain this anomaly of adult stem cell and cancer stem cell, where one paper says by Wagner et al. Says that there are no adult stem cells, and all the literature says that there are cancer stem cells in ovary? So how do you explain this? This has been explained by Bhartiya D and D Sharma in a paper published in 2020 itself. They say that the researchers in Wagner et al. 2020 spun the single cell suspension of ovarian tissue obtained after enzymatic digestion at so slow a speed that distinct population of stem cells did not separate from the rest of the cells. So now by the paper of Bhartiya and D Sharma, it is established that there are adult stem cells in ovary. There are two types of adult stem cells in human ovary. One is size is 2 to 6 micrometer, very small embryonic-like stem cells, and 6 to 8 micrometer ovarian stem cells. Now, there have been work claiming to discover the origin of ovarian cancer stem cell. The work by E. Zuber et al. Hypothesized that it is the adult stem cells of ovary that undergo malignant transformation to cancer stem cells by a multi-stage, multi-step genetic mutation process. But I am in disagreement with the work of E. Zuber et al. Because of very large amount of heterogeneity observed in ovarian cancer. The heterogeneity observed in ovarian cancer are of two types. There are histologically dissimilar types of ovarian cancer. This is one type of heterogeneity. The other type of heterogeneity is that even histologically similar type of ovarian cancers are heterogeneous from one patient to another patient. They show differences from one patient to another patient. So what is my hypothesis of the origin of ovarian cancer stem cell? I hypothesize that not merely the adult stem cells, but all cell types of ovary undergo malignant transformation to cancer stem cell. So before we discuss this hypothesis further, let us look at what are the types of cells in ovary. We already told there are very small embryonic-like stem cells, ovarian stem cells. Then there is ovarian surface epithelium, which has squamous epithelial cells and cuboidal epithelial cells. Then there is cortex, Cortex has oocytes, granulosa cells, which are also called follicular cells, which produces oocytes. There are immune cells, endothelial cells, perivascular cells, and stromal cells. Stromal cells largely make up the connective tissue of the cells. That is, they provide three-dimensional structural framework for the cells. The stromal cells include fibroblast, adipose, loose and dense fibrous tissue, blood, bone, etc. What are the types of now the last part is medulla. Medulla also has granulosa cells. If you remember, while discussing anatomy of every, I told that follicular cells or granulosa cells, on one side they are attached to cortex, other side they are attached to medulla. So in both cortex and medulla, granulosa cells have been observed. Then there are theca cells and stroma, smooth muscle cells, endothelial cells, and immune cells. Next, we discuss the differentiation potential of very small embryonic-like stem cell and ovarian stem cell. Stem cells of ovary, it has been demonstrated in an experiment by certain research groups that they can be differentiated into all the three germ layers: mesoderm, ectoderm, endoderm. Mesoderm, some of the examples of fully differentiated cells out of mesoderm are adipogenic tissue and osteogenic tissue. Examples of fully differentiated cells from ectoderm are neural tissues, neurons. An example of fully differentiated cells from endoderm are pancreatic cells. Endoderm basically gives rise to tissues of the organs. So, in conclusion, very small embryonic-like stem cell and ovarian stem cell give rise to all mature differentiated cells of ovary, which we discussed above. Next, we discuss cellular plasticity and liver. The mature differentiated cells in liver initialize upon regeneration. This is known as cellular plasticity. That is, when a large part of liver is cut and removed from the main body of liver, the mature differentiated cells in liver transform into the adult stem cells of liver and give rise to all cell types of liver. Hence, it is the mature differentiated cells in liver that undergo malignant transformation to cancer stem cells. What about the replication of this in ovary? So let us look at cellular plasticity and ovary. The epithelial to mesenchymal transition plasticity has been observed in ovary. So how come my hypothesis that the mature differentiated cells of ovary give rise to the cancer stem cells in ovarian cancer? There is a well-known artificial process, man-made, which is known as somatic cell nuclear transfer. The somatic cells of the human body can be reprogrammed into pluripotent stem cell by replacing the nucleus of the oocyte by that of the somatic cell concerned. If you replace the nucleus of the oocyte by the nucleus of the somatic cell, you get a stem cell which is pluripotent, which can give rise to cells of all tissue types of the body. This technique has been used over several decades to clone animals like sheep, monkey, etc. So here comes my second hypothesis of the work. This hypothesis, first hypothesis was that all the cell types of ovary can give rise to cancer stem cells. The second hypothesis is that after undergoing several stages of genetic or epigenetic mutations, the nucleus of the mature differentiated cell of ovary replaced the nucleus of oocyte and thereby transformed to cancer stem cell observed in ovary. Though nuclear transfer has not been known till now as a natural process, but my hypothesis claims it to be a natural process within the ovary, possibly triggered by external factors like unhealthy diet, smoking, etc. How do I further support my hypothesis? Ovary is such a small organ. And the precise location of stem cells within ovary is yet unknown, that upon trigger to spontaneously mutate by external factors, it is not simply the stem cells that mutate, but even the mature differentiated cell. And because the stem cell populations have been found in ovarian cancer that initiate, grow, and metastasize tumor, it is highly likely that the cancer stem cell has in ovarian cancer has origin in mature differentiated cell too, apart from having it in adult stem cell. What is therapeutic implication of above hypothesis? If my above hypotheses are proved, this scientific discovery will open up a whole new world of research for the further possible discoveries of molecules, enzymes, proteins involved in the concerned natural process that is the counterpart of somatic cell nuclear transfer. Once known, the inhibitors of these molecules, enzymes, proteins could be designed as a robust vaccine against ovarian cancer. To sum up my work, let us discuss the challenge in ovarian cancer. There are histologically several different types of ovarian cancer. They are epithelial. Epithelial is further of four types: serous, endometrioid, clear cell, and mucinous, germ cell ovarian cancer, and stromal cell ovarian cancer. Out of these, the serous epithelial ovarian cancer is the most lethal. So let us discuss serous epithelial ovarian cancer to understand the great challenge in ovarian cancer. For long, the origin of serous epithelial ovarian cancer has been known to be the fallopian tube. But cancer stem cells were found also in the ovary and not in fallopian tube in serous epithelial ovarian cancer. So one can debate that the serous epithelial ovarian cancer originated in fallopian tube and metastasized along with cancer stem cell to ovary, or the other way around. The serous epithelial ovarian cancer originated in ovary and metastasized to fallopian tube. The discovery of cancer stem cell within the ovary in serous epithelial ovarian cancer places the long known origin of serous epithelial ovarian cancer in doubt. What are the other challenges in ovarian cancer? There can be debates also regarding which mature differentiated cells or stem cells mutate to give rise to particular type of ovarian cancer. With this, I conclude my work. Thank you uh, for giving me the opportunity to present my talk. Now I am ending my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Pushpam Sinha, for the nice presentation that you gave today.
Hello. Yeah, this is Dr. Jaipal. I just wanted nice presentation, very nice and informative, everything. So my question is that are all metastatic cells stem cells, or they are non-stem cells but metastatic cells? What do you feel?
Oh, you are talking of metastatic cells.
Yeah, yeah. What is your opinion whether all metastatic cells are stem cells, or there are other non-stem cells which are also metastatic?
Actually, Dr. Prem Lata, when I'm talking of cancer stem cells,
Yeah,
the cancer stem cells basically they are born at the start of a cancer when the metastasis is still far from the genesis of cancer. The cancer is just beginning, but because cancer stem cell persist as the cancer progresses and become metastatic, it is the cancer stem cell which provides the strength to the cancer cells to become metastatic. So I
okay,
suppose that the cancer stem cells still play role in the metastasis of a tumor.
okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody else?
Okay, so no more questions for you, Mr. Pushpam Sinha.